and welcome to ECCB Connects, a production of the Eastern Caribbean Central Bank, to share with you who we are, what we do, and how we serve you. Over 300 grade 6 students across the ECCU are now better prepared to transition from primary to secondary school, having participated in the Grade 6 Transition Session, an initiative of the ECCB through its primary school mentorship program. We'll have the details after this message.
Do you own or manage a business? Interested in saving time and money? How about expanding your business? Then the Dcash Merchant app is for you. Receive digital EC payments instantly from Dcash customers anywhere via your smart device. Create invoices and track transactions easily in the app. And avoid the hassle of handling physical cash. Visit dcashec.com today for more information and to sign up. Dcash, the digital version of your EC dollar.
Thanks for staying connected. The Eastern Caribbean Central Bank is helping to prepare grade 6 students across the ECCU for a smooth transition from primary to secondary school. The ECCB facilitated a grade 6 transition session on June 10th for students of the ECCB mentorship schools in its 8 member countries. The ECCB started its primary school mentorship program in 2007 in keeping with its mission of advancing the good of the people of the ECCU by promoting growth and development. The primary school mentorship program is offered to students in grades 4 to 6 of a selected school in each ECCB member country. The ECCB partners with financial institutions and the Ministries of Finance and Education within the ECCU to deliver sessions on financial education and social skills development through interactive classroom discussions and activities. Over 300 students attended the Grade 6 Transition Session virtually. Deputy Governor of the ECCB, Dr. Valda Henry, encouraged the students to prepare for success as they get ready to embark on their secondary school journey. Dr. Henry challenged them to be disciplined and to always give of their best.
And what I want to say to you is, as you prepare, recognize that with success, if you want success, you must work for it. You have to prepare. You have to study. You have to have discipline. I always say discipline is the key pillar. It's like the cornerstone of success. Because you could be very brilliant. You could have all the resources that your parents are able to provide you. But if you don't have the discipline to stop to study, if you don't have the discipline to determine what it is I want in my life or for my life, then almost always the success that others see in you, or even you may want for yourself, may not be achieved. And so it's not too early to be disciplined. It's not too early to determine what it is you would like to be. And that can change, because for me, I always wanted to be a teacher, and that has not changed. I consider myself a teacher. But you can change along the path. And say, started off being a teacher, starting off to next turn to a doctor, to a medical professional, to a police officer, whatever it is. But what is important is having like a vision for your life. What do I wish or want to be? But also asking, what does God want me to be? You know why? Because each of us has a purpose. Think about your values. Your values that your parents and your teachers, parents have taught and teachers have tried to reinforce. Things like honesty, integrity, kindness, compassion for others. Those are important. Courtesy. Sometimes, and especially as people go, as they progress in their careers, They think that those little things are not important. They're not courteous. But I say to you, courtesy opens doors that intelligence may not open. Because even if you are the most intelligent person, but you are unmannerly, you are rude, you are, poor attitudes, doors may not open for you or open as quickly for you. Whereas you may not be the brightest spark in the class or in the workplace. But if you are courteous, if you are compassionate, if you are honest and kind, you will find that doors will open for you that intelligence can't open. So yes, be intelligent, be bright and curious, but always, always keep strong to values like faith in God and prayer. It's not too early to start praying. Faith in God and prayer, courtesy and all of these other good things are as important to make you the wholesome person that you are.
To help the students with making the transition from primary to secondary, psychologist and guidance counselor at the Sir Irish Simmons Secondary School in St. Lucia, Kayla Allain, explained some of the major changes they will encounter and offered some self-management tips for a smooth transition.
I want you all to just take a minute and think to yourselves, and in your classrooms, if you want to kind of just say it out loud, you can. What's the first emotion or the first feeling that comes to your mind when you think of starting secondary school? I just want you to think to yourself, what pops into your head? How do you feel? It's very normal to feel mixed emotions, to feel a range of both positive and negative emotions about any new experience, especially this one, because it is such a big change. You may feel excited. You may feel a bit fearful or scared or even nervous. You may feel anxious. You may feel some doubt or worry because you don't know what to expect. You may also feel very curious because it is a change. You may feel happy that you're moving on and you're going to be in a different school. And you may also feel pride. And I hope each and every one of you feels pride. You feel proud of yourself for all of the accomplishments that you made to reach this point. So one of the best tips I can share with you for secondary school is to manage your time. You will receive your timetable at the beginning of the year, and that will set out all of your classes, what time you have to be there, what time the class ends, and so on. So you basically know everything in advance. Once you have your timetable, you can make your own homework and study schedule. So you can plan sort of your evenings or your afternoons and how you want to use your time wisely based on your classes. I suggest that every single night you check your timetable to see what classes you have the next day. This will help you to be prepared so that you pack your school bag and you gather all of your supplies so that when you get to school the next day, you're not missing anything. You have everything that you need. Because as I said before, the more prepared you are, the better that you do.
Dr. Tiffany Skerritt from Montserrat engaged the students in a frank discussion about the changes they will experience physically, emotionally, and mentally as adolescents, and how they should deal with them during the transition.
So you're going to have all these physical changes, and they're going to be hormones in your body. Hormones are these special chemicals that help to bring about change, to bring about some type of action in the body. And so this diagram kind of helps you sum up, although your own is blocked, right? So in boys, you tend to have development of facial hair. So those of you who have brothers and bigger brothers and daddies, you have a mustache. You might get a beard. These are normal changes that you expect. For girls and boys, you start to see hair growing under the arm and over the pubic area. That is normal. So I want everybody to chant with me the word normal. Say normal for me. Normal. The changes you're going to be seeing over the next 1 to 5, 1 to 6 years are normal. Very good. Remember as well that the skin might change. So right now, a lot of you I see some very nice skin, right? And I'm telling you that doctor had gone through some times when her skin was covered in some bumps, right? And you're gonna try to pop the bumps and you're gonna try to get rid of the bumps. But the acne and the bumps are no. So acne and having oilier skin is part of the transition that you experience. And so we're not very surprised when we see our boys when the forehead breaks up with the bumps and the girls having all of that is part of the puberty and all of that is part of the transition. So as you go to MSS, Mrs. Alain did an excellent job of telling you about how you can prepare. You'll realize that your mind begins to increase. You're able to think of all sorts of things that you've never imagined before. You'll also realize that you start to think back and you realize that, you know, some of the things that you thought were true or some of the things that you learned in primary school may not be 100% true anymore as you learn other things, and there's nothing wrong with that. You'll also begin to choose for yourself what you think is right and wrong, what you think is appropriate, and you'll begin to decide for yourself who you want your friends to be, who you don't want your friends to be, and all of these mental changes are normal and will happen throughout the next few years as you move into high school and move into secondary school. How many subjects do you guys do now at school? How many subjects? 5 subjects, right? And you're gonna go into first form, some people call it grade 7, and you're gonna have a whole heap more subjects, right? Some of you might have 8, some might have 10. When I was in first form, I feel like we had maybe 15 or 16 subjects. But guess what? Your brain is able with time to expand and learn new things. All of these changes are normal. How do we cope? How do we manage these changes, right? Some of us play games, some of us find ways to get outdoors and exercise and play and have fun. Some of us like talking to our parents or talking to our friends. All of these are good and healthy ways of coping with all these changes.
The students also heard a first-hand account of what it is like moving from primary to secondary, as past ECCB mentorship student from Anguilla, Najik Davis, shared his own experience.
I know that in your transition, you may feel worried, nervous, or even afraid of what to expect, which is why I am here to walk you through my experience of transitioning from primary to secondary school. I had a lot of challenges, expectations, and lessons that I learned while in transition. I can start by saying that it is okay to be scared. I knew that there were going to be lots and lots of other students from many different schools on island. I also knew that the work would get harder and there would be lots of distractions. I was afraid that my good grades would plummet, and guess what? For a short time, they did. For the whole of first form, I was not focused at all. While all my friends had their schedule memorized, here's me with a little piece of paper with the room numbers for my classes on it, searching and reaching to every class late because I was not focused. Who can guess what my number 1 distraction was? No. Who said girls? You're right, the girls. I say this because as young men and women, we are trying to find out who we are and where we want to be. And along the way, there will definitely be some distractions. Whether it is a crush, or trying to fit into a friend group, or simply trying to look cool, there will be distractions. While mentioning friends, I think I should tell you that friends, while good to have, are not necessary. And if I had to give you any advice on friends, I would say to choose wisely. Choose persons that see things the way you do, or persons who share similar interests as you, or friends who encourage you to do good. I like to say you should choose friends who use peer pressure in a good way and not a bad. I have a passion for music and play multiple instruments. I say this not to brag, but to lead me to my next point. Get busy and stay busy. You should always stay busy. Do things that force you to explore and things that challenge you. For me, I took up tennis, I play music, I'm a parliament member in the Anguilla Youth Parliament, the debate club, the steel orchestra, and the choir, all to stay busy. All of this, while it may seem like a lot, have helped me and taught me to stay focused and showed me the importance of having discipline. The discipline to practice an instrument or the discipline to study. This all comes in handy when the work gets tough. When the exams start rolling in and when you are finished school, you will thank yourself for doing it. You will be a well-rounded, trustworthy, and sophisticated individual. Another lesson that I have learned is communication. Communication. Please communicate with your teachers, principals, or counselor. If you are struggling with a class, do not be afraid to let someone know. If you do not understand something, tell the teacher. For example, I felt that if I were to tell a teacher that I do not understand, I would look as though I'm not smart, or they would send me to a lower band. But that is not the case at all. Because I have communicated with my teachers, I have been able to do better as a student. And let me tell you a secret. It makes the teachers feel good to see that you are trying and are interested when you ask questions in class. Like I said before, it took me some time to notice that all these children around me were children who were trying to be the best. And if I wanted to be the best, I had to shape up. Now, before I leave, I want to tell you that the memories you make now are memories that you will never forget. And you should cherish these memories and keep on making these memories.
And now for this week's financial tip.
Always contact or update your financial advisor in the event of any material change to your financial status, that they may adequately guide you on best management or provide solutions for managing the change in your financial status.
We've come to the end of this week's episode of ECCB Connects. Thank you for watching, and be sure to connect with us next week for another program to share with you who we are, what we do, and how we serve you.